have a special guest today, my good friend. So, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Tiffany. Thank you.
You're at uni right now? What uni are you studying? What are you studying, man? Let them know
I'm
you.
studying biomedical science.
Okay.
At Aston University in Birmingham.
I like that, man. How you enjoying it?
I mean, it's alright. Obviously, like lectures are online and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's a bit boring because like you're studying all this theory, but the practicals are even limited. So it's like
Yeah, you science subjects are struggling, man. I can't
yeah,
even lie.
it's quite hard. So it's like I'm kind of detaching myself away from the degree right now.
Yeah.
So motivation isn't really there, but
We'll get it there today, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So today we're talking about coronavirus. It's actually surprising that we haven't discussed that yet. Like, I think we've only actually mentioned it on about 2 episodes. I know we mentioned it on mental health. I don't know what other episodes we've mentioned it on. But today we're just gonna go through basically a timeline of how 2020 is gone, and then basically analyze how the government has handled things and how we feel like things could have been handled better. So yeah, when did you guys first hear about coronavirus?
Oh, that was like end of 2019,
December.
and that was when I was taking the mick out of China.
So
Yeah, because remember it was just like you heard about it in China. Apparently they ate bats or whatever. Everyone was just like, it's peak over there.
it's a mad story, you know.
Next thing you know, there's 1-2 cases here, and boom, we're here today.
Because
Yeah.
people were proper thinking that it's a China problem and it's never gonna come here.
Mm.
It was actually crazy, thinking
Like,
about
yeah,
it.
it's not like it just turned up. Like we were hearing about it on a regular basis in
Yeah.
China. Next thing you know, it's here.
I was,
Like,
I was
do you know what I
seeing-
mean?
I was seeing on Twitter, I was seeing bare people saying it's shady and that. They were saying, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's one doctor in China, yeah, and he found out about it in, I think, November or something, or October, and he started like talking about it. Like, I think he was a doctor, but he also like lectured as well at like unis and all sorts of things. So he started talking about it a lot, like saying like, guys, we need to be worried about this. We need to be worried about this. And then I think they just said like, kind of like said, oh, like you're talking rubbish. And then he caught it and died from it. Like,
Swear.
Wow.
yeah.
God rest
That's
his
mad,
soul.
man.
Yeah.
See, because in terms of it just being a China thing, I think it actually was for a while. Low-key, it actually was, because
For a good few months.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Which is
see what I mean?
extremely ironic because they're clubbing in China. They're Gucci.
Fam.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. They fully proper like got it like lockdown in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think end of February they were calm.
But you got to remember, with China, like they're really close to being a communist country.
Yeah.
So like they've got control of their citizens. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That is
Like
so
if they
true.
say you lot aren't going out, we're monitoring what you're doing. That's what's happening. There's no,
Yeah, policing in China is already crazy as it is, man. Because I've heard about their cameras everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, they have facial recognition cameras
Yeah,
everywhere.
because my girl lived there for like 10 years, so she
So-
tells me like, if they want you to stay in, you're staying in.
That's
Like,
so
there's
crazy,
cameras
man.
everywhere. They're listening on the phone. They know who you've been in contact with. Like
Yeah.
if you went to the shop, I know we have something similar now, but from the beginning, if you went to the shop and someone in that shop had COVID, the shopkeeper, everyone in the shop, like you had to quarantine for 14 days,
That's mad, yeah.
and they were checking, like you were not leaving the house.
See, and this
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
time,
They
bro.
had the track and trace thing before it was track and trace.
That-
It was just standard.
And it's proper. It's like you can kind of get around it here if you don't really care, but in
Yeah.
China it's mad.
But yeah, man. So it actually was a China thing for quite a while, and then what changed that was Chinese New Year, because you know how people travel a lot during Chinese New Year. Obviously, go and see family. People will come into China on Chinese New Year, and obviously with that they brought the virus with them, and then they came out. Yeah, that's what I read into.
Makes
So
sense.
obviously,
No, but do you know what? Yeah. In November, my brother went to a concert. I can't remember whose concert it was, but my brother's asthmatic, so like already with corona, like he would already be packed off if he had corona.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he went to a concert in November, and then like a couple of days ago, he started getting the same COVID symptoms. But obviously in November, nobody really knew about COVID
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So when he went to hospital, they were trying to they tested him for the flu. It wasn't the flu. They gave him antibiotics. It wasn't working. And then after a couple of days, he got better himself. And then I think in March when corona started to become a big problem, my mum went to one of the doctors and was like, oh, can you look at like my son's chest scans and look at his symptoms? And the doctor was like, yeah, he had corona.
Wow.
That's mad.
In November.
In
you know.
November.
That's mad. It was about.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's like, it wasn't about. That's why I was like, that's actually mad. Corona's probably been here for a long time.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
But we never even
knew. It just never really blew up the way that it has now.
That's
you
crazy.
see what I mean?
I can't lie, even in March, I think the last time I went clubbing it was just before lockdown. It was like a week before lockdown. It was like March 16th
so
or
meaning
something.
you knew that coronavirus was a thing, fam.
And I remember the next day.
Because people were wearing face masks then. That means...
Bro, to be fair, I was in a t-shirt and it was cold. And I was sneezing. So in my head, I was like, I've just got a really bad cold. But bro, I haven't been that ill for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Like, my body was just done. I was just... Yeah. But I was sneezing. I had a blocked nose. So that's why I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it made sense for it to have been. Because my body was just finished.
Yeah, because I remember there was one particular party in it. And I didn't go in it because...
He actually didn't, yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I was not feeling it. But obviously, like, lots of my friends went, yeah. And then everyone, like, the next day, everyone's like, oh, I'm so ill. So I was there laughing at these guys, yeah. And then lockdown got declared. And then they found out, I think, a few days after lockdown was, like, officially in place, that I think one girl or two girls from that party went to the party with COVID.
Massively.
Wow.
With like, they
with
knew.
COVID. Yeah, I think
Bad
they knew.
mind.
I think they
Lock
knew.
them
So
up.
mad, you know. Yeah,
Lock
that's
them
so
up.
mad.
So everyone was. I remember one of my friends was ill for like 2 weeks straight. Like this guy was just dying. He was so ill.
Mad.
That's so mad. See, I remember even March time. The whole lockdown thing. That even I feel like that wasn't organized enough. You know.
It
like,
wasn't.
Like it was a thing
And
where
they left it last minute.
you see, because it was the week. I think the week before lockdown started, it was still like a rumor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because they were talking about tanks and them.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember that picture
Like the
of the military?
On the motorway.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
The
Social media was jarring, man.
texting and they said, martial law.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was very unorganized. But true say, at the beginning, people were taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Like I do shout out to everyone.
Because I remember someone from I forgot the teacher, man, but whoever listened to this that goes new and sick will know, yeah. There's a teacher.
If I find out who it is, I'm saying the name. If I go,
there was a kid in the class here. I can't remember what lesson, but he had a mask on, like January times, innit? Like he was always wearing a mask, saying like, "Don't touch me," this, that, and the other, yeah. And then the teacher was like, the teacher was laughing at him, saying this, that, and the other, yeah. You know when they had the online lessons during lockdown, the teacher had corona.
Shame.
That same teacher got
I
corona.
don't even know who
I
that is.
hope she's okay. Shame.
That's crazy, man. But yeah, lockdown was actually taken really seriously.
I'm sure I didn't leave my house, like not even to the shop, for at least a month and a half.
Yeah.
I went 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, I went day off.
Yeah, I was still being sent shop.
I did not leave the house. I bought like some gym stuff and I was on my PlayStation and that was my life.
Yo.
It's kind of like, it was weird. I can't lie. I don't know. It wasn't like affecting my mental health, but I was okay with it, which was kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone was kind of like, this is kind of affecting me. I'm not really able to mix with other people. For me, I was like,
Yeah, so
I'm in my element.
We spent bedtime on PSN.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I can't lie, you know.
That was a good time of my life.
Gee, that was the best
so
2K
good.
time, man. 100%.
So good.
Yeah, but yeah, I went out, like, I think day off, I went to the shop, fam. Like, I can't lie. But shout out to everyone for keeping it real. Like, they actually stayed in. Like, I remember on the streets, it was empty.
Yeah.
I can't lie. On my
Yeah,
road,
it
it was
was.
completely empty.
Yeah.
But then, I feel like it's because the government said 3 weeks.
yeah. So everyone was like, all right, let's look in for these 3 weeks.
You
so
see
we
what I
can
mean?
be out in these 3
Yeah,
weeks.
it was when people had the realization that this 3 week thing wasn't really 3
That
weeks.
they said, you know what?
Yeah, because I remember they had whispers of them saying June, and as soon as they said June, everyone was like, nah, I can't lie, that's getting long. So what do you man feel about that though? What do you man feel about them saying the whole 3 week thing? Do you feel like they should have? Because I feel like in Wuhan,
I feel like they should. I can't lie.
I feel like in Wuhan they didn't give such a short deadline. You know what I mean? They didn't
I think
give people
3
hope
weeks
like
was
that.
too short, but at the same time, I do believe, not that I believe the government handled this well, but I don't think they could have been honest. Because if they were honest, I definitely think that we would be, even though we're not in a great position, we'd be in a worse position now because people would have been just like, they would have been like, bun that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I
Do you
think
think so?
I think so, personally. Because really and truly, let's say, how long was we in lockdown for? Was it?
6 months maybe.
Was it?
Might be. When did
Like,
lockdown
I'm talking about the
officially-
proper
The
lockdown.
proper
when did
lockdown.
It wasn't 6
lockdown
months, was
officially
It
end?
was just over 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't 6
When did it
months.
officially end?
It was July, beginning of July. That's when they opened up the pubs and that.
Alright, so
So it
yeah.
come from, I thought you meant.
If they said, alright, we're gonna do the real lockdown for 3 months and then we're gonna slowly come out of it, I don't think people would have stayed in their house for 3 months. Whereas the every now and again updating, people, it's wrong because it's lying, but people, they kept giving people a little bit of hope, and that's
Yeah.
how people, but that's what
I feel like they should have used the death figures a bit more prominent. I feel like, you know, the figures with Corona, they at the beginning they were hiding them, like they were I think I saw somewhere like on Sky News or something that at the beginning of lockdown they were lying about the figures. They were like, it wasn't as high as they should have been. So I think they should have said 3 months, and this is why we're doing it for 3
Yeah.
months, using those Corona figures.
Do you know what the issue is with that? Social media, because conspiracy theorists were just having a field day
5G.
with the 5G,
Oh yeah, 5G.
with the lying, with
5G
people
vibration.
lying about figures. Like, it was mad because I would think it was just a couple tap people online, and then like there'd be like towards the end, say if there was a little family function we were having, yeah, like family friends, I'm hearing them speaking about 5G, and I just remove myself from the equation because I'm just like, do you honestly like, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think these things, honestly, people do listen to them, and so when that happens, all the figures they're seeing, they're like, I don't care. They're just like, oh, it's probably just the government lying, or it's just a bunch of old people dying, which, you know, isn't completely true. It's sad, but it's true. You know what I mean?
What theories did you guys believe about Corona? Like, did you guys believe of the 5G?
Nah, not the 5G. Because
I-
on a science bit, like that don't make sense.
Yeah.
5G isn't great for you, but for it to create COVID or whatever they were saying is ridiculous.
That's what I didn't understand, but I think my stance has always been the same. I think it's there, but I don't know how big it is.
What?
COVID.
Oh,
I think it's definitely there, but I don't know how big it is.
Yeah.
nah, I hear what you're saying.
Because I've seen, I think Sky News report. He was outside Down Street. He was talking about Corona figures. He was talking about how when he was like, say if you were in March, you were tested for Corona positive, and you quarantined and you came back perfectly fine, you bounced back, you're calm, and then in July now or June, you get hit by a lorry and you die. Your death goes down as a
yeah,
Corona
I
death.
heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they don't. They're not totally accurate. So they don't really.
I
know
can't lie. Do
who's
you know
who.
what my thing was with that? My thing was, I'm not complaining because I'd rather the figures be worse than them not
Yeah,
be as bad.
yeah,
That was my thing.
They needed them to be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, they
So
needed them
people
to be
can listen.
bad. Yeah.
So I heard that as well.
Because we had the worst numbers in the world at one point, I swear.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
No,
yeah. I
we-
think
I
the
think- I think
rate.
we
We had the worst rate. Of
Yeah, we had the
death.
worst rate, but
Yeah.
you said death were the worst numbers because of population.
Yeah,
But,
I think is theirs even going down yet?
No, I
No,
don't
it's
think so.
still increasing.
That
But,
is scary.
but I think one thing that they kind of like flopped on is that they should have tested more
Yeah, and earlier.
Yeah,
and
earlier.
better.
Yeah, like it actually took so long.
because there was a
But-
great. Oh, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying like just took ages.
Yeah, because there was like a great rapid increase in the amount of cases when they finally started testing.
Yeah, so that just showed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if you start testing earlier,
And the infrastructure for these things should have been in place. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, and it comes down to, I don't want to get too much onto the politics side, but it does come down to the government you vote into power, because obviously a more right-wing government is going to focus the resources of the country to things that are going to service the economy more. Whereas I'd like to think a more leftist government are going to focus the resources more to things that are going to better life for the people.
Yeah.
And you'd think something like, if we get a pandemic, being able to test for the pandemic is a basic necessity that they would have patterned. It's there, it's ready. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what happened in China, which we should have done to some extent? When they had their lockdown, it was strict. They cut off everything, schools, everything, they started building new hospitals, but not only that, they turned like things like schools and offices into hospitals.
Quick.
Yeah.
They just said like, get your nurses, go put them in there, and just start with whoever's
Because one of the main problems was the fact that we didn't have enough spaces in the hospital.
Yeah.
That was like one of the main issues. And it was taking them a while to build some of these new
schools,
hospitals as well.
And these schools were closed. No one was going to the schools. So, I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's true.
No, it's true. What are we actually doing? That is so true.
Yeah, but I think China. I don't like to get into the conspiracy theory too much. Yeah, but I do think it's kind of mad how this started in China. China patterned it quickly, and China's okay now, and the world is like most of China is okay now, and the world is kind of just.
I think it's because they're more of a dictatorship than the rest of the countries. Like they just literally said like, listen, like
this is what's
you're
happening.
doing, you're doing this, and people listen.
Yeah, and then America is like on the other side of the spectrum where they've got all these different states that like there's a president, but he doesn't really he's not really governing over all the states. So some states are kind of doing their bit. Some states are just like, I'm seeing concerts, I'm seeing parties. Do you know what I mean? So,
now, do you know what? Conspiracy theory. I still kind of believe that Corona was created by the governments.
Oh,
by, like,
in China.
No, like I feel like the top countries, so China, the UK, America, Russia. I feel like they all came together and created coronavirus.
But my thing would be why? Yeah.
Why? I feel like they all had to tackle their own problems. Like I feel like China wanted to regain control of the people, or wanted to even get more control of the people. And then I feel like in the UK they wanted to kill off the older generation. And then in America, I don't know why America would do it, because nothing's really going on in America, but yeah.
What won't America do? They would it all, man.
I kind of believe the one about like it was made in a lab, like, and it got out in China.
I mean,
I believe that, but I don't know about all the powers that be.
Because people like things like AIDS, Ebola, all these other things. It's like the exact same thing. Like, suddenly someone's decided to eat a bat randomly because that's what they felt like doing, and then
boom,
this, that, and the other. But does that sound plausible? I don't know.
And the way it travels is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like for it to be, it would make sense that it would have been man-made for it to travel the rate that it travels.
I mean, true say, you see, in terms of the benefits, I have actually got one though, so I could actually see it. You know, the whole track and trace system.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the power you'd have just knowing where people are at all times is immense. Honestly, that's why Google has so much power, because Google knows all of us are in this place right now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? We don't even have Androids, and Google knows exactly where we are. They know what time we got here. They're gonna know how long we spent here. Have you guys ever been on like a bus? Do you guys have the Google app on your phone?
Yeah, and it says rate the.
Yeah.
And do you know what's mad about that? Yeah, because I remember reading this thing about like the technology we have now is always 10 years behind what like the military has.
Yeah.
So the fact that we know, like Google lets us know they're doing it, that means there's even crazier algorithms that they've got.
See what I mean?
That we can't even comprehend
do you
right now.
remember ages ago when there was that new Apple update, and all of a sudden people had like you know the what's it called, the music group U2. Do you not remember when people like they updated their phones and automatically on like Apple Music they had this random album from U2, and U2 is like an old music group, and it just appeared randomly on people's phones after the update.
I've had that for a while.
Low key,
I had one song.
It's literally just.
I don't know what the song is, but I remember there was a song on Apple Music.
I had something.
Because when I
It's just me, bro.
you know, you click music on Apple, you just click play. It just comes on.
I don't even use Apple Music, but I used to keep.
Yeah, and that was because the government now got access to our phones.
You see what I mean? But yeah, I mean, see, look, because it would actually make sense now, genuinely, because data is power, knowledge is power, meaning data is power. And obviously, I know in America there was quite a hassle, like there was quite a struggle, because obviously, you might know Eric Snowden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric Snowden, who was
He was
leaking that they were tracking. After that, a lot of companies and a lot of businesses said that now we're not giving our data to the government anymore. Like the government don't control us. Like a lot of companies are now saying that we're bigger than the government. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna. You don't have access to people through our network. So with that things happening, like let's say Google says that the government or no government can get through to them, the government would now need a way to get the information for themselves. So in terms of track and trace and having everyone download the track and trace app, it would make sense because you don't know what this app is doing in the background. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Even just them knowing where you are, as in, because it even comes into money. You see what I mean? If you walk into McDonald's, they know, oh, you like McDonald's. They will start sending you vouchers and stuff. For McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard oh yeah, by the way, watch The Social Dilemma. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it, but you need to watch it.
Yeah,
I know
that's
Tiffany has.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm the only one that hasn't. Alright,
That's
I'm
crazy.
the only one that hasn't. Alright.
No, Prince, like proper on the serious one.
Swear.
You need to watch that
It's
show.
scary.
It's so eye-opening. That it's actually crazy. Like I never knew that politics and technology was so related.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I
either.
never knew.
I can imagine so. I haven't seen it, but I can imagine so. Yeah.
But have you guys ever? Okay, I bought my AirPods in February I think 10th. Yeah. Have you ever searched something on Google or whatever, and then gone onto YouTube the same day and seen it pop up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like things like this happen quite a lot. Like cookies, recommendations, all these sort of things. Like people don't really understand how powerful they are, and just knowing just
big
tiny
money.
things that seem irrelevant to you are so important, and people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so serious. It's actually so serious.
Like, why do people think Google's so rich? Like, genuinely, Google don't sell anything. You see what I mean? Google actually doesn't.
Google's a free search engine.
You see what I mean? Because people even want
because of the data they have to.
Yeah, you see, and they can sell the data.
advertising
You see what I mean? They can genuinely, they can and they do sell the data. You see what I mean? That shows you how important and how valuable data is. Because if you have hands on the right data, you can advertise straight to people. You see what I mean? And a lot of people don't even mind. You know what I mean? They don't mind people having their data. I forgot where I heard this, but there was one study in America. I think it was like a survey that got put out. I think it was, which of these would you hate the public to have access to? And two things that were on there were your social security number and your thoughts. Yeah, your whole thoughts, everything that goes through your mind. Which one would you hate the public, like everyone, to have access to? And they said they'd hate your social. They hate your social security to be leaked more. They'd hate that more. And obviously, to people that don't know what social security number is, sort of like a passport, I guess. I mean,
You know, like NI.
sort of like a passport, sort of like an NI. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's your identity. You see what I mean? It's basically your identification. That number is your identification. And they'd rather have their every thought leaked to the public than have their social security number leaked to the public. And I'm thinking, do you not think about your social security number? Like, it doesn't even make sense, because if you're thinking about social security number, that's going with the thoughts. You see what I mean? People put their value on the wrong thing. As in, your thoughts are basically your data, because everything's on your phone nowadays. You see what I mean? People don't mind what data leaks out of their phone, and that's kind of mad. So in terms of it being faked by the government, if that's one reason, I see it. You know what I mean? To get access to your phone, if that's one reason, I see it.
Have you heard about Event 201?
Nah.
No, what's that?
Simulation run by Bill Gates in October, I think, 2019, and it was like a simulation of a pandemic, like what would happen and how it would happen, and like death numbers, things like that. It was just randomly decided to run a simulation, and then there was like meetings with, like, I don't know if you know about Bilderberg Group and all these people, and then they're all having like meetings to do with things like vaccines, ID chip, just a whole load of talk about. Yeah.
That's kind of booky.
Yeah, that's scary. Did you see? I think it was one of the presidential campaigns where Obama was speaking. I think it was like a guest for that guy. I forgot his name. Who's the Democratic candidate again?
What now?
Yeah, now.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, Biden. Yeah. He was a guest speaking that on behalf of Joe Biden, and Obama was like, he left Trump. Like, they had a protocol for if a pandemic were to come. And Obama was like, none of that is happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Trump is just ignoring it.
Yeah, so Trump is literally just ignoring like government advice because Obama was preparing for such a thing. Like it was just like, I don't know, maybe if he knew about it, I don't know, but he was preparing for a pandemic to happen. And
I mean, yeah, it would, you'd think a government would have a protocol for things like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with the UK. I mean, I hate conspiracy theories, but at the same time, I believe like it's dangerous to just take everything at face value, because then you just get like what the government wants you to know. That's what you know. So I'm on the fence, which again, it's a bit boring, but that's just me. But I think there's something more insidious to do with the pandemic than the powers that be are letting on.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But yeah. I mean, okay. To take us somewhere else, how do you guys feel about the deadlines? Because I remember the deadlines that were initially put out, I've been trying to find them, but I can't find them. The deadlines that were initially put out are not what we actually did. Because I remember being panicked because they said that gyms would be closed until October. I remember I was panicked, but then gyms got opened July. I think it was July 26th, if I'm not wrong. So what do you guys feel? Do you feel like lockdown was released too early or what? Because
100%.
because lockdown wasn't actually released July 5th, as in, or like early July when the pubs were open. But that day you can sense this. I'm not in lockdown anymore.
It's like a sense of like, what's the point anymore?
Yeah,
why
do you know what?
you in pubs?
I think
Yeah,
they
for
knew
real.
like we was.
That didn't make sense to me. The pubs is my
You have
biggest.
alcohol at home, you know. All you do in pubs is spread germs and interact. Like,
Yeah, she didn't even make sense.
It was getting better,
It
and
was
I
getting
think
so much
the
Yes.
government on a thing of like like the unrest from the public was starting to get a bit worse, but two, they were kind of like, alright, winter's coming, there's gonna be a second wave. Can we get this second wave out of the way before winter?
That's
That's
crazy.
what I'm trying to think of.
That's so crazy.
Nah, do you know what I think of? I think it was literally, I think it was either Boris could save lives or he could save the economy. And he decided to save the
Yes.
economy.
But for me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know why he picked that, because
Because he's a conservative.
No. I get what you're saying. I'm saying, like, why would he do that? Because people make the economy, people make him money. So I don't understand why he chose lives.
Nah, but
Do you
like
understand?
at the end of
I
the day,
mean,
like
why
it's
he
with the
chose
young
to-
people thing. Like he knows the young people.
I
Like he
feel
knows most people are gonna survive Corona. It's usually people with underlying health issues that are gonna die. So it's more of a sacrifice of them than it is of people.
But then the way you're even thinking about it, gee, if the people die, you don't get that money. You'd rather have them out spending the money first. You see what I mean? That's one of
Yeah,
them.
literally.
And even they wanted a head start on other countries. That's what UK would have wanted, because other countries were in lockdown. If we can get our lockdown first, our economy can be booming and it can recover quicker than the other countries. You see what I mean? But to me, opening up pubs, big mistake. Man.
Yeah.
It actually didn't.
But
even
we got to
make
remember.
sense.
We got to remember. Yeah, as much as like we're black and we don't really go to pubs, we're in England, the UK. Pubs are like.
But then
That is a staple of so many people's social life and culture. So like,
Because
there-
people process them for it, you know.
that's what do you see what I'm saying? So, like for us, we don't get it. It's ridiculous. But I guess.
But
like,
I don't know, bro, because I like African parties as well. But I'm not crying and screaming that I haven't had one in a while, fam. You see what I mean?
Like,
Nah, but bro, you're not going to African party every day after work, and I mean every day, bro. Like that's the social life.
But my take, because you mentioned civil unrest, as in with people like starting to break out. I'd rather have a few rebels than just allow everyone out. You see what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, man. And even if they are rebelling, if pubs aren't open, they're going to someone else's house and they'll share it between them. That's how I see it, because opening
I guess
pubs, it mixes so many people from so many different places.
The only thing I can think of is the economy then.
Because the pub thing was so bad that I think the day that pubs opened, some pubs just decided to close themselves.
Yeah, within 3 days, like some pubs were closing because the cases got too much.
You see what I mean? Nah, man. Pubs were the wrong thing to open, especially
Yeah,
that early.
I'm thinking about it. Like you said, you can drink at home, bro.
Bro, you could really have a party at yard, you know.
Yeah.
That's better than going pubs. 'Cause
Do you
even-
know Boris is so smart?
you said-
Do you know why Boris is smart? Because obviously you know that like our age, like the demographic between like 16 to 24, it's very hard for us to die from corona, obviously. And then in like August when Boris came out with that help out to eat out thing, and so many people were going out.
Yeah, sure.
That's how I was thinking. Boris was kind of smart for doing that.
If you deep that, that is crazy. What?
No, it
you
never
gonna
made
say?
sense to me.
I said,
They're
what do you
saying
mean?
go outside to help people. I'm like,
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say about, bro.
Outside.
That's
I
mad.
thought you just
And
said
you
that.
like, anyway, deep it. Look, imagine Corona's not even real. Imagine everything's fine. If we got eat out to help out and everything was fine, we'd be like, oh wow, like that's mad. We would say that's mad anyway.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got something like that during a pandemic is ridiculous. Something like an incentive for us to go out and mix with other people.
And it didn't make sense.
No, Boris was actually telling us go and meet with your friends.
For me, it's not because it wasn't.
Bro, I haven't deeped it to this moment.
Because
What?
it can't just have been an economic thing. Because then he would have said, "Oh, get takeaway to help out." You see what I mean? He said, "Go
There was-
there and
he
sit
said-
with
yeah,
everybody."
he
There was no 50% off.
Yeah, because I actually
You
was
see?
checking. I was actually checking on
Bro.
online delivery and stuff because I didn't really want to go out.
They
to
were trying to
London
kill man.
and go
Oh, I've
eat
just
these
deeped it.
things.
I've
But-
just deeped it.
I was deep in it on the spot because I was eating out. Like I was there, I was just chilling. I was like, wait, but I'm really with bare people
What
in this,
exactly?
in
And
this
do you know
small
what doesn't make
space.
sense to me? At the same time, they're finding people for having parties. There's tier lockdown systems. And you're telling people to go out.
You see what I mean? Because even drive-through, you didn't get 50%.
Yeah, we didn't get the 50%.
People, yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't get
you're-
drive-through.
you know-
You
you know
had to
what
park
these-
and walk in.
You know, Matisse, you don't get 50% on takeaway. You only get 50% on eating, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You have to
saying.
sit down
You have
there
to
and
sit
eat.
down.
These men were trying to
With the
kill.
tray.
I don't know who. I
They
don't
didn't
know.
even
I
give
don't
out
know-
bags.
I don't know
They
if they were trying to kill old people, young.
No,
They're trying
you
to
know
kill
what?
someone.
No, because Boris
Nah,
realised that cool, the young people, the statistics from them dying from corona is low.
So you lot get that, send it home and kill off your parents.
So-
Yeah, he was
Bruh.
actually.
Now,
Boris
yeah,
was
now what you
so
said makes
smart.
sense. Now what you said makes
Boris
sense.
was so smart, but now if you look at it, the numbers, like our demographic from like 16 to 24, we have the highest number of corona. We basically are contributing to the rise in the coronavirus things, and now Boris is blaming us.
Because we're
Boris-
moving about
yeah.
too.
And
We're
Boris
going
is saying
University,
that-
We're going
bro.
uni, yeah,
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
uni.
We're moving about the
And
most.
in schools, like like secondary school, like teachers are telling off pupils from wearing masks in
Yeah.
the class. There's no such thing as social distancing. Like they've
I
literally
can't
gone
imagine
back-
how you do that.
I
in
heard
secondary
school, they're not even social distancing.
Yeah, like they've gone back to normal 30 people class sizes, and
Yeah,
they're not
man.
even allowed to wear masks.
That's crazy. Because I'm deep in my year 13 A-level class. There was 36 people there, you know.
Exactly.
It's
Bro.
crazy.
And then deep
There-
in like
there's
how
no
in,
way
the,
we could have
in
social
like
distanced.
corridors, like you know how like during lunch and break the corridors used to get so full up.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
actually
still
true,
going
you know.
on now. And
But
there's
then
no
there's some
masks.
workplaces where you'll see people can't go near people. It's mad. Yeah, they basically said young people are Gucci. There might be the one or two that will die because they got asthma, but bun them. That's basically what they're saying.
That's actually what he said, and now Boris is blaming us for the rise in coronavirus cases. I was like, dude, you can't tell us to not. Like, obviously, 50% off. What type of like?
That's mad.
To eat in, like to actually sit
Exactly.
with
But I
people.
definitely think, like they knew the second wave was gonna come, and they tried to fast track it before Christmas, before
That
winter.
don't even make sense to me.
I think it does purely. This is me. Like I don't even know. I'm being devil's advocate.
You're better with the
One,
science than me.
Not even like obviously like it's colder, so it's easier for the virus to survive. All of that rubbish.
Actually, now I saw somewhere that whether it's hot or cold, it doesn't matter.
Is
But I
it?
don't know if that's true or not.
No, but I swear, like the way like the virus will travel, like
It's
not even
airborne.
about it
Apparently
surviving.
It's not airborne.
It's not airborne.
No. It's only through like
Droplets.
surface and droplets, I think.
Oh, but I don't know then. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I think I saw somewhere like somebody said like another conspiracy theory was that the reason why the R rate was so low during like June and July was because apparently it was hot. Because remember them times it was like every day was boiling.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
people were saying yeah because it's hot.
The
but
only reason
apparently
I
it's
go
not
off that is because during the winter there's always like a flu that goes around.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
One recently.
yeah, like I'm assuming that there's a reason for that. But also like with Christmas coming, that's one of the like they know they got to get the economy back up and running. So ideally they'd like it to be safe for people to go out and shop like they do during Christmas and not be scared to do it from home. I mean, we've got online shopping. But yeah, that's me being devil's advocate. I don't know.
I wanted to ask though, what do you guys think of schools and how they went back to schools and stuff? Was it too early?
I didn't like it at all. I did not like it.
When did they go back?
Normal time.
Like normal time.
Yeah.
Like
September.
I started 7th of September, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, I have no opinion. I have no opinion because like they got to get kids back in school, yeah. But there's no right way to do it.
But they didn't that day because schools were calm doing it online. Like they weren't. Were they struggling?
They weren't doing it online, were they?
Nah,
Well,
they
I
were.
They were doing Microsoft Teams online classes.
Yeah,
and that.
they were doing
But
Zooms
then
and that.
people. Well, I spoke to my mum, and my mum said the thing is, parents can't stay home and supervise their kids because they need to go back to work.
Yeah.
I remember because they were saying people need to get back to work, and then the child might. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. I feel like schools were calm then. For me, September.
But if it was
September,
I can't lie. There's no right way to open up schools because these are kids.
And then they open up schools, and then cases on the first day.
Bro. There was no way they was gonna get social distancing done in secondary schools. I know me when I was 13. If you told me I can't go near this person,
Everyone's touching everyone.
yeah.
In the corridors when everyone's going past everyone.
Then I feel like school should have done something
Like years,
better.
yeah, like certain years come in or maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Like movement times. Like
They do. I know
like,
some
this year
schools do
moves
that.
now. This year moves now because. Like even in classrooms, like that 1 hour that you're in the class, think about how many like.
And there's
all
some
that,
nasty. All it takes is one nasty one in a year. There's some nasty ones in
Because
my
I
year.
know one guy has to touch the door on the way in.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, I know some guys I would not have been going near.
Because I know once. I know at Newman, I think you have to clean the desk before and after every lesson, and then you have to hand sanitize and everything. So, but I just don't think that's a nationwide thing.
In my sixth form, they have if you have worksheets, and that has to be left 72 hours. So 3 days before my lesson, they put it on the side, and then we go in.
What?
So it's been there over the weekend, just there. So there's no corona on the paper.
It's just their breathing, man.
What?
So funny, man.
It's catching its breath.
It's so
COVID's mad. COVID's crazy.
What do you man feel about COVID in gyms, fam? How do you feel like the
Me?
gym situation?
I'll be in the gym regardless.
I feel like.
I'll
Do
outwork.
you think that they
Corona.
could have opened earlier or they should have opened later?
I think that they should have, but later. Sorry, but like I'm selfish. I'm so happy they opened.
Yeah,
You're not
actually,
used to
so.
lads, man.
And to be honest, yeah,
Yeah, proper.
like I don't know why, but I don't feel at risk when I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would feel death at risk.
I
Yeah,
don't.
like for me,
I don't know
it's
why.
for me at gyms. I just like because if you think about how dirty gyms are, just think
But
about
people, to be
before
fair, at
Corona.
my gym, people do the cleaning thing. Like everyone does the cleaning.
Pure
thing.
gym. Well, you go pure gym.
No, I go to the gym, but in London. But I don't.
Did you?
But I went to Pure Gym in Luton like a month ago, and I can't. People didn't really do the cleaning.
Sure.
Which
Nah, when I
one? Which
went,
one made the
people
12 years a slave workout?
Oh, that was
Oh.
that was
That was
Luton Pure Gym. And people were hearing about that from.
The thing is, I know that guy.
There was a
as
black
well.
man as well.
I seen that guy.
But he was
as
just
well.
tapped in it. I think he was just an idiot.
I don't know.
That's a
One
slave
thing,
workout,
one thing I heard is that what if it wasn't even him, fam? But let me not even get there.
Wow.
Let me not even do that. Let me not even do that.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't, like in the gyms. I don't feel at
I
risk.
said slavery was tough,
So
but
is
in
this.
this,
So is this.
Well, that's mad, you know. Like he must just be one of them.
god,
Brother, you ain't got no black friends or something like that. Thought you like have a little joke.
it doesn't
That's
even make
so
sense.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm kind of against gyms. Like, if I could tell you guys not to go to the gym, I would tell you. But you guys are gym
Possibly.
freaks anyway. So, but if
I've
I was
been
anybody
gym.
else, I would actually tell you don't go to the gym.
Yeah, nah,
Just don't go.
it is true, nah. But I don't know.
Because you see in China, when they did it, they just said basic living needs, essentials, that's it. You don't really need nothing extra.
Can't lie, yeah.
No luxuries, nothing.
If
So
you
if
want
they
to
did
speak
that,
on,
I think it would have been done in that month.
if you want to speak on China, hopefully you don't kill me. But China said you can go gyms, but only the Chinese people. If you're like international, you can't go
Is that what he
gyms.
said?
Bro, if you was black, Latino, something,
Nah,
bro,
I know.
I don't even know if that's
discriminate
changed.
a lot though. I know
Bro,
Racism in China episode needs to get
I
covered.
don't,
Yeah.
bro. I'm
That's
scared.
mad.
I'm scared.
Because I think it was China that they weren't in shopping centers. Security were just saying like, yo, yeah, you're black, you're bringing a virus, go home.
But it was evicting
Just
people
send
from their
people,
houses.
That's so crazy.
But let's not. Like, if we was talking like this in China, they would hear us on the phones, and there would be some
It's mad.
repercussions.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually
the
true.
police would be banging on the
There
door.
would be
Yeah,
some
that's actually
repercussions.
Yeah,
But
man.
that's another one for another day.
Churches opened up really late. My
My churches haven't opened.
I heard Someone told me their church opened this Sunday.
I know some have, but my one in London and my one in Luton, neither of them, they're still doing online.
But I can understand why, because to be honest, with church, even though church is something that you're supposed to be together, with church you can do remotely.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that you don't have to touch people to do.
But I've been slacking.
That's a risk. I don't know about church remotely, man.
Why not?
Shit ain't the same.
It's not the same.
It's definitely not the same, but it's definitely possible. That's my thing.
It's like that's like doing wireless remotely, fam. I know you
They did it though.
Yeah, but no one.
Yeah.
The remote carnival, fam.
Oh no, remote carnival, no. People are unimpressed.
Nah, man.
I just hope in like a year's time we're looking back at this.
Oh yeah, well, let me ask you guys a question. When do you think COVID is going to end? When do you think this whole social distancing,
Social distancing, I think we got like a year and a
this whole
bit.
thing?
But I feel like COVID is going to be a part of, like,
It's hard
actual
to tell,
COVID will
man.
be just a part of normal life.
It's hard to
But I think
tell.
social distancing, we've got like a year and a bit, I can't lie.
Yeah,
I think we got a while.
because I think history repeats itself, and there was like bare similarities with the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Which is like
Yeah,
100 years ago.
like every
19
100
something.
years since like I think the like
1920.
70 like
1920,
yeah, there's been a pandemic,
Yeah.
something like this every 100
Nah,
years.
Yeah,
and that's-
every 100 years
that's
since
it.
1820.
Yeah,
Well, at
they
least
were
it's
wearing the
just-
same masks as us. They were doing the same thing, rushed everyone back to life too early. Second wave, then it goes
You
away.
don't learn from history, man. What is this?
At least we...
People don't listen, man.
People don't listen.
But yeah, man. I mean, because what I was thinking is obviously you see events like TED, like conferences and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't see when's the next time you could do that. You know, I don't see the next time people will be so comfortable sitting rows.
That's, you know what that is, that as well. Like, even say if this is gone in 6 months, are people actually going to be comfortable
You see what I mean?
to sit next to someone
Like,
and then someone's in the middle of the row and they cough?
Damn.
Like, when's the next time?
Well, I was in a restaurant, this lady was coughing freely, I couldn't
Swear.
believe it. Bro, I couldn't believe...
I deep his voice even changed. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe how freely she was coughing. She was trying to hide it, how she wasn't kicked out. I'm sorry.
You didn't get kicked out.
That's what I was thinking. Like, wow.
That's mad.
Do you not feel shame?
Because I'm thinking, when's the next time you can have a cinema at full capacity, fam?
Bro, it's
I went to cinema the other day.
Yeah, I've been cinema.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it couldn't be full capacity. You see what I mean?
yeah.
But
But
nah.
you
Film
guys felt
industry.
comfortable in the
Yeah.
cinema.
Nah, it was me and my friend just chilling, man.
It is socially distanced, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's
you
quite
see it.
easy to social distance in a cinema.
Yeah, no, of
like
course.
whole rows.
There's
were
always
just-
too many seats. No, there
Yeah,
is.
so
Still, man.
some stuff are just.
But
But
it's-
cinemas are suffering. Loads of stuff. Film industry suffering. The arts are suffering.
Yeah, you seen cinema closed down.
Yeah, Luton.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's not just Luton. I think it's
Oh, all the cinema.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
the
Yeah.
cinemas have closed.
They
I
said
don't know.
temporarily, but
Yeah.
and the thing is, they
I
had
think it's
open for like 3
finances.
weeks.
I think it's fine. I
That's
think
a
they're
whole lot.
not making enough.
Yeah, even James Bond got pushed back.
So,
To
All
April.
the black- is that the
All the
black
Marvel
one?
films
Huh?
got pushed
Is
to
it the
next
black
year,
one? The
bro.
one with the black person playing James
Nah,
Bond?
it's still
Nah.
mine, man. This is last
Because I
one.
heard something. I think it's Idris Elba.
Yeah, I heard Idris was on
Yeah.
I
something.
heard it, but I don't think he's doing it anymore.
Yeah, man.
Wow, Corona.
What would you guys think about a second lockdown?
I think, you know what? I actually think it needs to be done. I feel like it needs to happen.
They shouldn't have ended the first one, man.
Exactly. I feel like it needs to happen because the cases
Give me
is
a gym, I
actually
don't mind.
increasing too
I'm
much.
so ready for a second lockdown, man.
It actually needs to happen.
Give me a gym. I don't
Did
mind.
you man hear they said uni students might not be able to travel back, fam?
I can't lie. You see,
Yeah.
I've been trying to take this seriously, but something like that, yeah, I'm going home. Do you know what I mean? I'm going
Yeah,
home.
exactly. You can't. There's no
Yeah.
way that you can.
They were trying to
stop
threaten
me.
us, innit? I
Who
saw
gonna
that.
check?
Yeah, I'm
it's true,
going
man.
home.
Because you're not gonna shut down trains.
heard that, bars?
Alright, man. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but a second
Nah, second
lockdown is
lockdown has to.
needed.
But that other one,
I think
the
it's
first
coming.
lockdown.
So if
It-
they
it-
didn't end it, what would they have done? Just carried on until when?
at least another month, man.
Oh, okay.
Because it was dying down. Genuinely, it was dying down.
Because a month would have been, maybe if they ended it in like August and starts
You
school
see
in
what I mean?
September,
Yeah.
I can understand that. Because 4th of July, opening it, open pubs, barber shops, all these things.
Oh,
I'm
it
like,
was
bro,
the
do you need
end,
this?
man. It was so silly, man.
Do you need it?
Wait, but what do you think about the tier system? How like only like Liverpool and Manchester are on tier 3. Like what? Yeah, what do you guys think about the tier system?
I don't
General.
think it actually. I feel like it's a good idea in theory, but I don't
Yeah.
feel like they're
I mean,
applying.
is it working?
I don't even know if people care about, because I've seen people saying like Manchester rejecting the lockdown, the tier lockdown or whatever. They're saying they're not.
What
doing
tier's Birmingham?
2.
I haven't seen any difference.
It's just that the only difference between tier 1 and tier 2 is no household mixing.
Oh.
That's literally it.
Yeah, I haven't felt any difference being there. But.
Yeah, that's only I feel like it's just too confusing. Like, why is it so now if I go to Manchester, what's gonna happen?
You see what I mean?
They're just trying to
the standards are weird. Yeah.
Bro, honestly, all you need you to do is just.
They're trying to people please, man. Way too much. They're trying to people please.
Sometimes, like, when you're in power, you have to understand that, like,
you actually have to.
You have to make decisions, fam. Like, you're actually a man, you know.
Mm.
You're actually an adult. Like, you're not a kid anymore. You have to make these. You have to say this and that. You're staying home for.
You're actually the leader of the country, fam.
That's what I'm
you actually
saying.
lead 60 million people, fam. Deep it. You're trying to please people. Man. You're never gonna please everyone, man.
Nah, but you know the thing about that is like obviously he has to go through Parliament. Boris can't just now say, "Oh yeah, lockdown." It has to go through Parliament. So you know, just that whole bipartisanship, polarization, everything. It's just. Even like I know I get it. Like we can tell Boris, like what you actually doing, but at the same time I don't blame Boris because there's certain things he has to go through, and obviously loads of people are gonna oppose. But yeah.
No, but I think if he had a clear like thing instead of just copying Scotland, people would have actually supported him because he does. I think they have a majority, don't they?
Who? Yeah.
Yeah, they have a majority, so it would have made sense if he actually just came out and said, "Listen, this is what we're doing." And had the actual plan, people wouldn't have really, like, people would have been able to back him. Like, even some people from opposition might have even been able to back him and say, okay, calm. Like, he knows what he's doing at least. But it was never really clear. It was just kind of like, we're kind of in lockdown, but like, kind of don't go out. But then now you have to go out to help out. But then
now you can't go out to
help out without going out, man. Come on, man.
What do you guys think about the 10k fines?
That's mad. All I know is I'm not.
Are they real?
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
People are getting them, bro.
Someone got it in a uni. Someone at a uni mate even got 10k.
Oh, enough people in uni are getting
Are
them.
they? But are they actually real?
I feel like they're not because where would these on Twitter's imagine though. If someone got hit with a 10k fine, they're gonna make a joke out of it. They're gonna try to go viral.
No, like, it's actually true. But you know what? I saw somewhere that it's like with that party in Nottingham, where it's the first person, the student that got the 10k fine. Like they don't just give you the fine. Like they give you warnings. Yeah. The police give you warning, and then obviously if you're not listening, then they give you the 10k.
I said to my boys,
personally,
say if I hosted one at my yard, I said we're all leaving. The police will find the house empty,
too.
bro.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
I'll take my PlayStation and the bag.
But because my thing is, if I was the government and I wanted people to take me seriously, I'd put out fake 10k fines as well.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'd pay someone £200. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? My friend, I don't know because he claps himself, but he said that his boys got 10k fine.
You see what I mean? But I'll pay. Aaron, if they offered you £500 and say you had a 10k fine,
I'm taking that.
Made that a bag. I'll say 20k.
But I don't know. I haven't looked into them. I haven't spoken to anyone that has one, so I don't know.
I think they're real. I think
they're real.
But you know
because one family is even trying to sue the government.
Yeah.
But you can't. Like that is the fine that you'll get. No question.
10k is a lot.
You know
how does it work though? What is it? You paying installments or what?
I don't know.
You just coming out with.
But you know what? Yeah. On that note, you know.
For a uni student, they're heartless.
I've heard I can't remember if it was to do with the fines, but I know with something else, like some other fine that was like kind of big to do with Corona or something. It's like you get the fine, so let's say £100, but if you pay within 14 days, you pay £20 or some shit like that. Like you don't pay.
That is usually how fines work.
Yeah, like you pay a smaller amount if you pay within a certain time, and then if you pay within 28 days and you pay this much. But then if you don't pay between any of that, then it increases or it stays at the standard that they set.
I'm not getting hit with that fine. That's what I
know.
10k.
£10,000 is a lot.
Gee, that's crazy.
Like,
what's average salary right now? So it's like
my student finance didn't cover that.
Exactly.
Average salary is about 18k, and that's half of that, man.
They're bad for that.
How much is student finance per month?
Boy, mine don't cover it.
Nah, like I feel like the max student finance that you can get for like a whole year is like. Is it 9.11?
Well, no, I'm in London.
If you're outside of London,
my friend gets
the maximum student finance for the whole year is 9k.
Yeah, right. 9 point something.
Wait, how long are you at uni for? 8 months.
Yeah. Could be even less.
About 10.
More
10 to 8.
Yeah.
I'm done in May, I think.
I don't know. I'm done.
Like, I've probably
May. I can't lie.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But yeah.
Yeah, but I heard that the fan gets like for the uni student. I heard that it gets to put to your next of kin, so like your mom or your dad.
So that's how they're trying to get us now.
That's not nice.
This is how they get us.
Imagine your son bringing home 10k. You send them to study law at
Don't
uni,
kill me, man.
and they bring home 10k.
I know my uni were trying to kick people out though. As in, if you get caught having a party in your flat, you're getting kicked out of the uni still.
Man.
But yeah, man.
The University of Birmingham is like I heard that there are a lot of cases now.
I don't know.
In their comms.
I'm hearing about because I know a lot of people are self-isolating. There's a lot of people self-isolating. Whether everyone has cases, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Stay safe in the comms.
100%.
Yeah, for real.
I got one flatmate in it, so
I'm in a house.
Shout out to Chris's flatmate.
Gee, shout out to you, man. Yeah.
Oh god.
I think that's us
Yeah.
for this episode.
We hate COVID.
Everyone, I want to thank Tiffany for coming down today.
Thank you so much.
Have a round of applause.
Shout out, man. I'm stopping. I'm done.
Yeah.
Go over time.
I was waiting.
Because I'm not editing it out again. Nah, I can't lie. We're done. Alright. See you guys later.
Love, much love.